Welcome everybody to what we hope is going to be a fantastic 2.5 hours, and we've called it the ESIS Lunchtime Takeaway. We've got a packed agenda. So my name is Pete Gordon. I'm Head of Emergency Care Improvement with the Emergency Care Improvement Support Team, also known as ESIS. And I'm going to hand over straight away for 5 minutes to our National Director of Improvement for NHS England and NHS Improvement, to Hugh McCaughey. So over to you, Hugh.
Thanks, Pete. Good morning, everyone. I'm absolutely delighted to join you. My name is Hugh McCaughey. I'm the National Director of Improvement, and I'm passionate about improvement and making our services safer and better. I'm absolutely delighted to open this session. I think it looks like a fabulous day and a fabulous program. So I'm only going to say a few words at the start, so as you can get into the exciting and content and detail. But I suppose just a little bit about the context. This is clearly an incredibly difficult time. So many people across the NHS are challenged and are facing incredible and indeed unprecedented challenges. And I think indeed people will look back, I think in 10, 15, 20, even 50 or 100 years time, and look at this as a period, a historic period that we're actually living through, and indeed in many ways having the responsibility for responding to. And it's not just health and care that's challenged, but the whole of society, the whole way we live, not just in this country, but internationally. But it's also a time when we have seen the absolute best of people and of the service. There's been an absolutely incredible response by health and care staff, by NHS staff. I think there's been a real recognition by society, by the public. One only needs to think about the sort of the nation stopping and applauding the value placed on the NHS and its staff. I think has risen and has refreshed that very special relationship that exists. I think has been refreshed, and if you like, almost the vows remade around just how important the NHS is and the people who work in it. But I think part of what is so impressive is the way, the agility, the commitment, the selflessness that we've seen during this period. But also one of the things is, and when I said the agility piece, is the innovation and the way which people have been able to find solutions, find new ways of doing things, introduce things quickly that will help. And I think we will look back on this, and indeed we are gathering at some of this through the sort of work that we're doing around beneficial changes, and see it as a period when there was a huge amount of innovation. I think one of the challenges for us today, and I think what today is about, is celebrating that, is sharing, learning from each other. And I would also sort of stress that making sure we take things away and make sure that we apply those things, because I have a good friend who works in Iceland, and he draws a parallel with the period we're in with the 2008 banking crisis. And he talks about Iceland at that period was a bit like being caught in an avalanche. And people during that period did what they could to survive. So they were agile, they had ideas, they tried different things, they introduced things, and they did it quickly. But he said one of the things that they observed and learnt from that period, and which they have a sense of deja vu, is once things got to a more stable platform, it actually, they talked about things solidifying, that avalanche almost solidifying, and actually it became difficult to get change immediately after, because people needed a period of stability. So there is, while this is an incredibly challenging and difficult time, it's also a time where we can make change, we can be agile, we can introduce those innovations quickly. And there's lots and lots of examples of that, particularly around areas like the virtual, and how we've introduced virtual and digital solutions in a way which is much more quick than in the past. So I'm absolutely delighted to open this session run by ESIST, and I love the way it's a sort of the lunchtime takeaway. And for me, then, the sort of final piece of advice I would have for you, the clue's in the title. Make sure you take something away. It's very easy to come to these, to share, to learn, and get a bit of a break, to get a sort of, from the challenges we're all facing. But actually, if we can take something away, if we can make a connection that with someone else who we can do a piece of work with, it will benefit our service, the staff that work in it, and the patients and public that we serve. So my final piece of advice is, do try and take something away or make a connection that you can follow up in, so that actually it's not just a good day from listening and hearing about things, but that you actually take back a benefit and apply it. So enjoy the day. I think it's a really exciting agenda, and as the clue in the title is, make sure and take something away. Thank you very much.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Hugh, and thank you for giving us your time, because we know how busy your schedule is. So I'm going to crack on. Thanks again to Hugh, our National Director of Improvement.